Good evening, everybody. So, we do short meditation. So, if there's anybody new for meditation, consider meditation is fitness of your mind instead of fit of your body. And the body, everybody do a lot of exercise, eating healthy, many things everybody do, and you guys very good about. So thinking on the mind same way. So building some muscles in the mind muscles. And the blood pressure, how do you say, the blood circulation have to be very well on the body. Similarly, the mind, you do well. So the next steps is the meditation. Meditation from the beginner, for beginners, you can see as a test like your body, health check, blood test, similar. So the old meditators, they know, so I don't need to give instruction. I only give for beginners. So what our mind is doing all the time is, for majority of the people, useless repetitive thinking. So the mind controlled by thoughts and emotions. So mind have no freedom basically. So that's why mind don't know who you are. You only know the objects, but you don't know yourself, basically. So that's why meditation means not from the beginning, but if you go deeper, you know yourself very well. So then you know how to take the freedom for yourself. Consider that way. And then we have to take baby steps. Everything is a baby step. Everything you want to become, professional, you have to take baby steps. That's the way of everything. So this time, first, I'm going to chant my pay homage. So you drop the past thinking and future thinking, what is next, or drop and be present and be single-pointed, my pay homage. And after that, maybe I make small sound, this, so you can certain people coming. Of course. So also you can place your mind on this whatever I make, sound, prayer. If it's silent, then the best thing, of course, you just don't need anything, just stay silent. Remain unsilent. But if you still need something, then you can focus your breathing. So breathing only two repetitive, breathing in and breathing out. So That's better than going everywhere. So that's what we're going to do. Only 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to discuss the subject. Jerkanim shilzun kamsame chuji jaror sechina nyanji tere dala kwadana sangi lila malun rovi tanjinin zome don huda hudu gana jabji ban moro sugum jorana tonji khambala dan dewa jani dacha jong Ganga tukzi nyerzoni ta damchidar pamvi shiratam bi chunar tunzal bi kodam de la shamsarlo. Jarson zabjir bi dunam malu darja jabr ngi dunam tartigan kurlo tami deshan yorton ki jarsab shamba dan saksaman pakwa tomesh. Harji zonmir ngurtanar tondar tenjon zamor jashini rikhi tonki ban chentar jakhur yandan pakwa la dulas pawadar ngurje lamaranda. Stichinar nyarjin jerme damja ayan trebi okarajini khambalayi wadram takhon kantana jabdi yandak. Chenying dollars of the Nanibi, Panzo, Southern Jenki, Baridan, Sahi, Option, Tata, Danya, Kandi, and so. Mario Samdana, Dorji, Nanjurji, Lonsimataki, Tobje, Mondanger, the Dila, Joxer, and Allah, Jujo, to Jabana, La, Sorwande. Toksama dungara chendra chejim chenem nyarso me khun jevara jalla so sim chena donla nyarda dam chena tamba namji num the sad so. Okay, today's topic: how you keep the peace of the mind, and the situation is chaotic and stress. Is that right? You wondering how? I think first we have to analyze what is chaotic and what is stress. So usually human beings blame everything someone else or something else. So usually we think the chaotic situation makes me stress. So that means already blaming something external. So first we need to analyze that. Is it really something externally make you this? Or is it your own fault? Okay? So you can argue, say, because the world is like this, and and these people doing this, and these natural disasters, that happens this way. That's of course external conditions, not I made it. You can argue that way. But the Buddhist school, mind-only school, is higher than Vaibhashika and Svatantrika, which means, some lower level of the schools. And they say there is no such thing external at all, even atoms or nothing. Everything comes from projection of our mind. So very, very strong argument, but we will not go there today. Maybe this is too much, This is need some kind of discussion and debate, between science and this ancient wisdom, between them. Maybe not in this class. But we go a little bit more superficial than that. So even that way, our emotions and stress, depression and loneliness, everything, anxiety, everything is firstly how we formed our version of the world first. Because you are already decide the world should go this way. And everything is should this way, shouldn't this way. Everything you put like that kind of box on, and the lines you draw, and we put in there already. So first beginning we draw the lines. If you are very strict about these lines, if you are very rigid about these lines, then you have more chance stress and you find chaotic. But from the beginning, You draw lines, but only pencil, not pen. And you have what do you call?
Eraser. An eraser.
Eraser. And so that way is, even many people say this world is chaotic and stressful, but for you, it's okay. So that means it's not saying you should not have any views, you should not have any perspectives, and you should not have any plans in your life, you should not have any goals. I'm not saying that. You can have all of them, but you are not so rigid about it. You are not so fixed about. So that means you have to understand a little bit interdependence and impermanence. You know? So you just say, I'm just in case I doing some plans, some drawings. If I don't see any other way, maybe try this way. So from the beginning, if you formed perspective in this way, so much more flexible, and then the chaotic situations happens, you're not so stressed. Maybe you have a little bit stressed, but not devastated. You know, I'm not saying you have zero stress. Maybe depend what degrees of stress depending how you draw the line first. How are you very strict about this line? Pen or pencil or, you know. Are you just doing in case, or you really obsessed with these lines? So depending on that, I think the stress and you find chaotic, really chaotic or not, is dependent on that. So that is from the beginning. But if you practice the Dharma properly, it should help everything. Why? Because Dharma means you establish a different view than normal people. And you have practice means you train in yourself, follow that perspective, follow that view. And you have conduct to matching with this. So that's why if you follow doing well, it will help. Why? Because Dharma means Buddha taught the path. So the perspective is there is two truth, conventional truth and absolute truth. So usually there's no two truth. Usual philosophies talking about one truth. A Buddha talks two truth. So the conventional, according to conventional truth, is everything is impermanent and suffering nature. Suffering nature means you are depressed all the time, you never find any joy. It's not that. But everything is unpredictable. So if you innate this, you already know, you already expecting things change and things not go exactly what you way of you want. So this is nature. This is not something newly happened. This is not something, because of 21st century. This is not about anything, like when we blaming, because climate, because of this, all these things. We talking something scratches, small scratches we pointing out. We not pointing out how universe formed. Universe how formed, both scientific point of view and Buddhist point of view, they formed something in change. And they're going to change all the time. Every moment changing. So if you are familiar with this view and you practicing your mind training, follow this perspective, then nothing is a surprise for you. Everything you already aware and everything you already expected. Expecting not exactly something, but expecting everything changes. Goes not what we predict. Most of them not going to the way of our predict. Even few things go according to our prediction, but never go 100%. Guarantee never go 100%. So we already have this view, and if we follow in this and we practice in that, so it's not in surprise. It's not in surprise. Why are you so stressed? So the only thing we say, I'm a little stressed because I didn't practice very well. I didn't follow my view. I didn't follow the path I'm taking. Or I did follow sometimes, but I forgot. I wasn't be mindful. I wasn't conscientious. That's all you can say. So that is the one thing we think about. The second thing, something particularly things.
So sorry.
Something particularly tense, like, I'm very stressed because this happened. Not worldly. Is personally these things happening. This. Also dependent how much you are stressed is about how much you pay attention to that one. Your attention. Depends on your attention. That means somebody happening exactly for someone else happening exactly what happening to you. But I have different stress. Different degrees of stress. Why? Because this person didn't care as much as you care. Still preferring not happening that, but didn't freaking out as much as you. Because the attention. The human being's problem, two things. Two things about this. Maybe there's more, but just right now I can think about two things. Firstly, we not aware many things. We have very forgotten mind. We means, I'm talking about we means who is not yogi. Who is not yogi means who has no very fitted mind. We can say body-wise, we can say overweight, obese, what do you call it? Obese, and unhealthy, similar. These people on the mind, we have a very little awareness. So your awareness goes wherever people noise, the world, wherever make noise, your awareness go only there. So this noise is something about worry, and then you worry more, that one. There's more serious things you can worry, but you don't worry. Because you're not aware. The only thing you worry this one because people made noise, and then many people follow that. We call it wrong channel. Maybe you have that story. So one rabbit hears something jar, and then he ran away. And another animal say, what it is? Oh, there's jar. So that's why, run away, everybody. Huh?
Like a scary sound.
Everybody run. Finally, they're exhausted, and they say, why are we running? Oh, because he said jar, or he said jar. Jar means only the sound. And then everybody, finally, who's the first to hear it? Then the rabbit said, I heard a jar. So where did you hear jar? Why you thought it's dangerous? I don't know. Nothing. So the world is like this. Always, everybody's attention to go wherever you made noise. So that's why we have this problem. The other thing, wherever you are fixation, wherever you are, your life, you have so many choices. But the most of choices people don't even see. You think, I have only this choice. Only few. You don't see. So when you don't see the many choices, then you are become more narrow and more, squashed. So that's why easy to become very stressed. Why you don't see many choices? Because you follow others. Because everybody copy each other. Why? When we say intelligent or wise, means it's not about you can do very quickly computer work. You can learn very fast how to use the phone, everything. It's not about that. It's about, can you see something other angles other people don't see? If you see other angles other people don't see, majority of people don't see, but you see different aspects. You see different options. That means you are intelligent. But majority of the people don't have that. Everybody follow each other, copy each other, listen each other. So this little bit similar that animals story. When I say this, I'm sure many people think, oh, I have plenty. I have different perspective. I can see many different ways. Da, 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 da. Yes, maybe you see some. But everybody, majority, something very stressed. And then that time, did you see something different? Did you have any very different view? So if we have, then you're not stressed. Because you see the other angle. So right now, everybody's stressed, incredible worry and anxiety about this corona virus. So many people, especially Asian. I didn't even notice. I didn't expect that much stress, but they do. So why? Of course, all the injuries have no medicine. All these things, we all know. We don't need to talk about. All other reasons we know. But something we don't talk about, why everybody is so stressed, is everybody attention there. And so everybody's focus are shift there. All other problems, people don't see it. Only see this problem. This problem you make bigger and bigger. Bigger than reality. When I say bigger than reality, I'm not saying this is something small and I cannot predict this is how will happen, everything. Not possible. But what I can see is why we worry about. Because majority of thinking is, oh, I get this disease, so I'm going to die. It's not so much, oh, the world get that disease, so world die. Even I didn't die, everybody die. Not so many people thinking. I'm sure majority of people thinking me, number one. And then after second, maybe second is others, maybe. So everybody worries that. So simple as that. But is there any other death conditions? Or this only virus? There's millions of death conditions always there, not just this sickness only come in a few weeks. So we could cool this possible, and then ever finish possible? Who knows? But even the worst scenario, they come everywhere and sick everybody, but there still is nothing new. We all have all the death conditions every day, everywhere. So even this sickness spread everywhere as everybody is sick, but you could die another reason. Not the virus. But right now, we thinking only this is the problem. We all means I'm not talking about every single person. We are Australia. We have only few, so maybe we're not too much worried yet. But so many people doing this. So that means what I said. Your shift, your focus shift, your attention shift because other people make noise. So you forget all other things and you only think in this. So see, now if you see these all conditions, the stress and all about problems, the cause and conditions, how they formed this stress, everything, we blame something else, somebody else, you know. Even we have, yes, incredible bushfires. We had something bushfires never had in history. But we are not extremely stressed, huh? We are. Because we are not too many human beings died. Animals, billions die, we don't really care. So that's a human being's perspective. Animals secondary. But if we are human, 10,000 dead already, we have much more worry, more than 10 billion died animals. So we just have to remember our view is limited and our awareness is limited, always limited. Why we care so much human beings and animal less? Also that reason. You know, we are biased. Of course, we are human beings. So yes, human being is more important than animals. Why? Why important? Human beings use this world even more. That's why important, or you know. Of course, we have this. All limitations make ourselves stress. Impermanent things we expect permanent. Unpredictable things we planned, predict, and we draw line, and we are very obsessed on. And then this has not happened, then stress. Also, the degree of stress is dependent how much you involved, how much you want to involve. Actually, we should test ourselves how much I can take. You test yourself once a trust fall, doesn't matter, and then you know how much stress I can take. Maybe some people like stress, so they can take more. But you check your limitation and then your life simplify. What doesn't matter what the world do, you can simplify. But you want to follow the world and everybody's expectations, standing, whatever. You want to follow this, but then you don't want stress because you is not matching, is mismatching of your ability of how much stress you can take, how much things you can take, and then you follow that mismatching. You follow in what world demands, what social expectation of many things, which class you want to fit in, many things. You follow that, and then you stress. So you don't have to follow that. If you have different perspective, very strongly, confident, you can live hippies, whatever. Some people say, oh, hippies is too old, there's no hippies now. But we can make hippies. You don't have need to follow our hippies. We just make hippie ourselves. Yeah. So then maybe easier, less stress. So I think the stress is we have wrong choices, a mismatch in our ability. So that's why, first at the beginning, you have to see how much I want to stress, how much simple life or chaotic life I want. First, you choose. That's most important. But if you choose very, very wrong and then you stress, that time also not 100% too late. A little bit late, but not 100% late. So still you can, I didn't expect that, but it's like this. So what I have to do? I'm stressed and this stress. Stress is making you more stress rather than that. And you choose, okay, I thought this is very important, but actually not really. I expect this goes very well, but actually not. But I thought it's important, actually not. It doesn't. Don't really care too much. So you can loosen up that time too. You can loosen up that time too. But that is not as easy as losing up from the beginning. You have right choice. But still you can do. Still you can try. So, always we are human beings. Blame somebody is easier, something else is easier. Excuses, actually. Nowadays, I see that in Tibet and China, everywhere, this disease. Lamas and everybody say, do this prayer, this mantra, this protection, such and such, But when I look at it, I feel like, and everybody's rules and regulations also very strict, but the prayers and antidote is also very strict. Hard draw lines, inflexible draw lines. And even mantra, prayer, all these things, it seems to me is the only matched the lowest practitioner's point of view. What is the lowest practitioner's point of view of protection? Let's say, think about ordinary person, no religion, no practice, nothing, but something's worried. You little bit believe God, but 24 hours you never remember God. Only you remember God when you have problem. That kind of God believer. Or Buddha believer, doesn't matter, Allah or whatever you believe, but you only remember when you have problem. That kind of people, we don't call that practitioner, but that kind of people, when you have problem, God, please help me. So that is the lowest way of seeking protection. And then a little bit better, sometimes you pray God, even you are okay. Sometimes you pray Buddha, even you are okay. But when these problems come, this mantra, this, that time Buddha is not enough. You feel you want some another mantra, something else, and this, and sometimes not coming in yidams. Yidam means, the particularly deity, enlightened being. And instead go Dharma protectors, go lower. because that means your confidence and your faith, everything tested already and very low. People go that they're seeking the protection of Dharma protector and like that and this, and or Buddha's teachings come from Buddha and Sutra, Tantra. Those things they not follow. Instead, such and such somebody Lama said this, or this mantra, this. They just follow that. But what they following is, please, this, deity, this mantra, protect me. So that is the lowest way of you protect yourself. So, train in mind, Lobjong, train in mind is the good training your own mind is good way really protected. So what they do is all these problems is go down to your own self-cherishing. So the root is there. Or no matter stress, depress, anxiety, stress, chaotic, whatever you have, loneliness, all problems, everything boils down are self-cherishing. If you don't understand self-cherishing, means self-centeredness. Why? Self-centered means very small focus. Not the universe, not everybody, me. The smallest you can go, smallest you can focus. And that way it happens. Why? Because the universe is big, but you only focus so tiny. That's the one reason. But if you go deeper, there is no such thing me. You can't pinpoint what is you, what is me, but still you have this illusion and very strong feeling of me. So another way, this me is a illusional version of me. But you can say the real me is united with God. You can say God way, God believes way, you can say that way. Another way we call Buddha nature. That is the real of me, but you don't think about it, you completely forget about that. It's just me. This me important, the others, okay. I can kill animals if, of course we have this, I can kill million animals, no problem if we can save one me. Or you can kill even million people if I want to save me. So if they don't know you killed, you have choice only just one finger, and you can kill million people so you can survive. I'm sure some people do that easily. But some people maybe do it feel guilt. Feel guilt but still do it. So these things happen. So that is the problem. So problem in root is that. So that's why the Lobjong practices, instead, this virus not come to me like this. Instead, you visualize it. This virus, everybody's virus, come to me, please. And this self-cherishing, you hit that. You can visualize it. That's me, like whatever you can, very shiny ball or whatever you, and then this disease, black ones coming and crush this shiny diamond ship crushed. So that's one way. That's the highway of your protection. Huh? And Jyot practices, Jyot practices, you invite all the demons on the universe and please eat me and drink me. Please, I'm for you here. So that means really going on the root, challenging your root problem. But many people can't do that. Oh no, then I get all the disease. Oh my God, no way. And so many people are so scared of even small insects or spider or distance. Why? The illusion of me is so strong. The self-cherishing is incredible, extremely strong. So that's why you have that. So if you are Vajrayana practitioner, or enlightened mandala. So the disease is nothing. The disease are your children, basically. So all you visualize it, yourself is enlightened father and mother, and everything is your children. So the disease is not something we scare about. Disease is something, that means all medicine and poison, everything is medicine. And it's not, you can't say even medicine. It is everything pure. Only disease, poison is manifestation. Appearance is not the reality. So that means, you're thinking like that way and you don't using your mask and you don't wash your hand, you welcome in a disease. I'm not encouraging doing this for everybody. But if you are in your mind 100% confidence, you can do it. But if you have slightly doubt, better to wash your hand. Everything, everybody doing as much as you can, just in case. Not too much stress and not too much, obsessed, but just do just in case. And at the same time thinking there is many other myriad death conditions, not only just this disease. Then definitely your stress level is go down. If you are aware of all other things. But at the moment, so many people is really stressed because of that. Your attention, your rigidity is there, or energy, everything you concentrate in there. I'm not saying forget about it and don't worry, no problem. I'm not saying this. There is problem or not dependent our mind. How much degree of problem is dependent our mind. Dependent our perspective, dependent our attitude, and dependent our attention, our focusing. Okay, any question?
Vishay, you might be interested that they did some scientific research on stress, and they found that your attitude to stress makes a huge difference as to the effect it has. So people who believe that stress is bad for you become sick or even die if they have a lot of stress in their lives. People who don't believe that it's bad for you, nothing changes, they stay well.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, you test yourself how much stress you want to take. I said, remember, maybe you like stress. You like stress means maybe some degree of stress may be suitable for you. That's what I'm saying. Is that matching a little bit?
I think so. It's your view of stress.
Yeah. So, what we should do about the virus? Is Australians worried or not really? Not too much yet. Every day it's still in the news.
Could we dedicate our merit to helping them overcome it?
Of course, you can do anything you want. The best thing is say, all disease come to me, please. Please come to me, not go any other ones. But go to me. That's the number one. But maybe that's too challenging for many people. Many people could believe, if we do that, then it come to me. Everything we mind, we pray, and then people think like this way, we do prayer, and then happens. So that's why it could be happen. So no way, I don't do that. No way, don't do that. So how you answer that one? Tell me. Anybody want to answer that? For that? That's my question. Behalf of them. Nobody want to answer? You want?
I don't want to, no. Is it the motivation, that your motivation is so strong to help others that it overcomes your fear of having that happen to yourself, your experience? Is that the idea behind that practice?
Yeah, if you say, if you have this kind of attitude, also, don't go everybody, me, come to me, means you challenging your ego, you challenging yourself, the ego self. You challenging that. So that is incredible, powerful. So go beyond prayer. Go beyond prayer. Oh, please don't come me. Please protect me, Buddha, God, protect me. Go beyond that.
Is the motivation actually to destroy and transcend your own ego?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it to help others? Or is it both?
They are not, they are matched 100%, not mismatching. This is true. Right?
Mismatching. Are you saying they're the same thing?
Yeah, they go together. He's saying they're not in conflict.
Yes.
They're the same thing, but they're not in conflict. You can't have one, you can also have the other, and they both go in.
They both go together very well. They are very dependent each other, not conflict.
Smash the ego, help the others. Same time.
Yes. You can't smash ego, very hard to help others. Yeah.
Rinpoche, we have a question online.
Yes.
How can we develop the ability to see more opportunities? How do I practice to develop this ability in my daily life?
Very in general.
See more opportunities? Just generally opportunities?
Yeah, I asked for more clarification, and the clarification was, how do I practice to develop this ability in my daily life?
Disability.
Ability.
This ability. This ability.
Oh.
This ability being...
This ability?
The opportunity
Yeah.
to look for.
Okay.
Taking advantage of the opportunities, I guess.
Is not like a given peer. Okay, eat this. It's not like that. Is you have to the formalization of teachings, number one, and second, be mindful and awareness and conscientiousness how much you build the formalization. If you see your perspective is expanded, and then your how do you say your motivation you trained, and then you see many opportunities. You see many angles. But if you don't do that and just give me one pill, one answer, and then even someone give you one answer,
It's the right one.
and sometimes that not work, so then you don't have other options. So the best thing is you have to expand and be familiar with Dharma, because all the solutions, everything spelled everywhere in the Dharma, not just one answer for one thing. Any other question? Or something you didn't understood my English? You can clarify. Some people can help. Oh.
Very clear then.
I was going to say, just in sort of in relating to that, in seeing opportunities, it kind of reminds me of, you see, I think kids are really good at that. It's a thing of not thinking that something is just one way. You know, kids will find a box and it's not just one thing. You know, it's a boat. They can put things in it. It's a house. You know, it's a hat. It's like lots and lots of things. Like we have that ability to see something lots and lots of ways. So that's kind of what that comment reminded me of just practicing, looking at the things in your life and going, what else is it? How else can I use it? Or what else could this situation be? So sort of coming from a creative practice background, you know, we literally play games like that called What Else Is It? And you know, like, so someone gives you an object and then you have to say 10 things that you could use it for. So kind of practicing, not just thinking that things are one way, is a way of practicing that.
Meditation.
Yeah, is a way of practicing.
So you saying, you know, if one object we say, oh, this is, we call it tangshik, I don't know what you call it, but tin, huh?
We call it symbols.
Symbols, tin. So if we say, okay, this is, we don't think, oh, this is for this. Not only thinking this, and you thinking, what else we can use? So many, how many angles we can, you know, how many things we can use, or what for?
It's an earmuff.
I could put, it's earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
I could put things in.
Okay, think about this. Earmark.
Yeah.
What else we can use?
Necklace.
Everybody say?
Yeah, necklace.
Necklace.
Oh, necklace. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Okay.
Plug.
Ah.
Yeah, and then if the water is draining out, you put the plug in.
Yeah, plug.
Oh, plug in. Yeah.
Yeah, plug the water in the sink.
Okay. What else? Huh?
Glasses.
Glasses. Okay. Plate.
You want to have dark glasses.
We can use a small plate.
Yeah, tiny plates.
Tiny plate.
For a bird feeder.
Yeah.
Yes.
The hot starter.
Huh?
Defib.
Yeah.
Tying up plants.
Yes, the cup maybe.
Oh yeah.
Cup in cup.
Heat up. Coffee.
Yeah, see, so many. But usually people never think about this.
Oh, it's a symbol.
Yeah.
What is this? Or this is for this, and that's it. Huh? So same thing. Anything we think, oh, bad things happened, then, oh, not only bad thing. Okay, how can be that great opportunity? How can this? And think of more. Oh, this may be possible, or this turns this possible, or turns this possible, leading this way, and these things happen. You can see many, many. So this, I think, really good practice. Everybody, maybe when you are everybody okay at that time, maybe they can exercise. So when you have crosses, then maybe you can use.
How do you learn to identify when you're getting fixed?
Fixed? That's easy. 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 Okay, that's easy. You can just say, okay, I want this, I want to do this, I want to achieve this. Okay. What about if that's not happened? If somebody say no, or if it's a friend, maybe each other say no, wrong, no, this is terrible. They can say that each other. But if not, then you can tell yourself, oh no, then how you, or you can visualize it, or this not happened, and the opposite. How you obsessed, you can see easily, no?
How do you? Isn't a little bit of obsession okay or useful? Devil's advocate.
Asking for a friend.
If you want to do something like purposeful, don't you need to have a clear intention and drive to achieving that? Doesn't that bring you in conflict with
No.
allowing things to be many ways?
I think always obsessed, and obsessed means you don't see any options. So that always bad.
Okay.
You obsessed is very bad because you don't see options. You determine, but you still can see. Still, you have some flexibilities. Means you have options.
So being determined is not the same as being obsessed.
We call like this. Ke porap chokwa rdon choko yin do jom do gormon choko na ligime check na mato.
Translate.
Yes. Ke porap choko na ran choko yin means if it's a good person, you are very strong, determined about. Is like animal horns. Animal horns very strong, but not that one first. Second one, that one. The first one, I can remember something object strong, but is only heat up a little bit. Then you can flexible, you can change, and you can manipulate. And the second one is that animal horn, so you have to be really heat up very strongly, then you can make change a little bit, otherwise no. And the worst one is a rock. So rock, you just like this, you cannot stress. If you try to break. So that's why very obsessed one is you cannot. You just fail, but you cannot change something else.
Another way of saying that is that if you're obsessed, you can't shift your attention off whatever you're obsessed with. If you're determined, you can move your attention to other things.
It's a good distinction.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that I think in Hinduism we talk about Shiva, and so I mean, growing up I read about it, and it was about increasing your consciousness, getting in touch with your inner nature. But later I found out that when you call Shiva or that deity, he actually breaks up your life, and your belief system and your relationships gets affected also. Sort of like the demon thing that you said, that you call upon. So I was just gonna ask, like, what do you do if the demons show up?
Demons show up.
If sometimes you get more than you ask for.
I say there is no demon.
Yeah.
There is no demon exist. Only exist is illusion. So when you see demon, then you have to think, oh, is illusion. It's not. There's no such thing, real demon. It's only illusion, hallucinatory. You know when.
Is everything an illusion?
Huh?
Is everything an illusion?
Yes, everything illusion. Everything illusion was the ultimate level, but the demon is even more illusion for humans. For human to human is a little bit more reality than demon. Animals even more reality than demon. So many levels of reality we have to think about. That's why I never.
Experience an illusion. But you can still experience an illusion.
That's why I never see demon any entire my life. I never. I never seen demon without human. And in Tibet, such places, say, there's a demon, you can't sleep there, you can't stay there overnight, or even during the day we go on the mountains, you can't just sleep here, there's demon, catching you, under, how do you call, I don't know how to say, if the you this, then demon like this.
Holding you down?
Or holding you down, all these things. I sleep, nothing happens. People say, you can't call this name here. If this name you call, the demon come. And many people, many people experience this. I say, okay, demon, come. Please come here. I call this demon and never comes. That's why I have confidence. There's no demon.
So, Rinpoche, are there other kinds of non-physical beings apart from demons?
Yes, is of course non-physical beings. That you can call including demon. In that level they exist, but not something coming to human like physically and do something for you like these things. That's not exist. That's another level. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying that non-physical beings can't affect humans?
No, only effect if your mind think that way. But if your mind don't think way, no way.
They need a hope.
Because it's not they actually not they affecting you. It's your mind affecting you. You created that demon, not the demon existing ones affecting you. Okay? So we are human beings. The closest of the little bit closest of the karma is animals. But animals, they can affect us a little bit, but we really can't communicate very well like human. Right? Why? Because karmically distant. The most close one is, animal, but still far away. So demons and all these other sin beings, far away. So you cannot experience each other. But when we think this is you created in your mind, not the other karmic beings coming to you on your karma. You have different karma, so not really affecting each other. Okay?
There's one last question online, but I didn't get a clarification, so we can just do our best. It's, should we dissolve ourselves a bit by meditation?
Huh?
Someone needs to rest a little bit after all this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
If we have a few minutes, if we could just do some meditation and request.
Oh, Oh,
end the discussion with the
okay. We can do
right time.
2-3 minutes meditation. So everybody, stretch your body. Your body is straight, at the same time relax. Not overly relaxed, firm, and you shift your attention in the present, but not too much attention, less attention, and so your body and mind both relax. You enjoy your breathing sensations from your nostrils. Finger pointed. So you even hear something, but your mind is not reacting there. Even you see something, smell something, anything, but your mind is not reacting. Only enjoy the sensations in the nostrils, breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, normal, natural breathing. Okay. Dedication.
May we all get sick.